Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Kellen, and we are here with Diversified Game with a very special guest. We have Big Smo straight from Tennessee.
This is Diversified Game.
A podcast giving entrepreneurial advice from a diverse and inclusive perspective with Kellen.
He may agree, he may oppose, and it's more than just race. It's about, ideas.
Tyson.
When you're going against the odds, you've got to be creative, you've got to innovate, you've got to stand out.
And AL.
Focus more on execution and application and less on excuses.
So, let the game begin.
Country rap musician, reality star. He might even have, some movie star credit.
Meat Mud. Oh, the Meat Mud. Yeah, I definitely got some different credits. I wouldn't keep me out of the loop on pretty much anything. I've got my own barbecue sauce, my own beef jerky, my own beard oil, of course the music, the TV show. I got a book coming out this year. We got a screenplay for the movie that we're working on. So I'm in the cannabis industry now over in the West Coast. There's nothing that I'm not a part of.
Man, that's awesome. And I'm gonna just spearhead the interview on why I wanted to do this interview, Smo, because I just remember when this was like 2000, we had like Too Hot Radio. Big Smo would send us his videos. His grind was impeccable. He was shooting straight from the farm, whatnot. He had his wife, his family together, and he still has them together, which is a beautiful thing because that's not an easy thing in this industry. But I think there's some jewels that you can share with the people, because a lot of people would think, oh, he's an overnight success, where you've been doing this for a long, long time, and to give them some game that makes it, to show them like, what is it that you have that made you elevate where others, never made it to that level or even quit?
It's simple, man. I'm a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been a hustler since I was a kid. I was a hustler when I was in middle school. Whenever they give us the school projects, like, here, take the candy bars and go sell them. I was the dude that jacked the price up 50 cents on a bar and then made my own cut. Like, I've been doing this for a long time, just knowing, that if you want to be taken care of, you got to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the people that surround you that help you get there. So what I would tell anybody is stay motivated and keep your hustle on, man. Like, no matter what you do, you have got to hustle, because it's a game out here. It's all one big game. You know what I'm saying? And it's how you play it that determines how far you're going to get in the game, whether you're a winner, whether you're a loser, whether you sit on the bench, or whether you just keep playing until you get somewhere. You got to keep your hustle strong.
I like that. Now, to kind of go hand in hand with the hustle aspect, I mean, hearing everything that you're involved in, I know my favorite thing that I saw come across my feed was your Meat Mud. I love that because I feel like it fit in and looked like you had some swirl going on the side with the meat. I was like, oh, this man is written it right there. Now, branching off into doing all of these other things, when you started from the music, tell me, how has that experience been for you, just doing that, and what have you learned through, kind of spreading your wings?
Yeah, it's definitely been a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get out here and you have to make some real mistakes in order to move forward. You can't just go out here and make your first move and it be a winning move. Sometimes you can, but it's important that you like to lose a few times, you know what I'm saying? And to be humbled in the struggle, of building something. And if it's built right and it's not that fly-by-night success or that flash in the pan, then you've got longevity for, like, not just long-term career, but for legacy type stuff, and my goal has been the same from day one. Like, it's not even really about what I can do for myself. It's more about, like, what I can do for my kids' kids, their kids, 100 years from now, I want my family to be able to look back and still be prospering from the work that I put in. You know what I'm saying? It's about a legacy for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm more motivated by success than I am money. So that makes it also a lot easier for me to be successful because I'm not fueled by money.
You're fueled by the work and by the prosperity of the work.
The work ethic, the prosperity, the reward, you know what I'm saying, and seeing success, seeing your team successful, the people around you happy. Like, you know, like 10, 15 years ago, man, I thought that money was something that would make happiness. You know what I'm saying? You always hear it. Like, money can't buy happiness. And you're always like, shit, give me $1 million and I'll show you a smile. You know, but it's true though. Like, even with $1 million, which today really isn't that much money, but even with like that, you're not going to guarantee no happiness, man. And like, when they say more money, more problems, they wasn't fucking lying. Like, that's real talk. You know, like, you got people coming out the woodworks that you ain't, cousins you ain't never even met, friends you ain't seen since first and second grade. You got people hitting you up wanting them to pay for this funeral and that funeral. And it's like, yo, man, I'm not, just because I was on TV and because I had some music put out, like, that doesn't really translate to a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does translate to a lot of success, but like I said, not all success equals money. But I like where I'm at in life right now. I've done some growing. Since the TV show, you know, I'm going to correct you on one thing. Me and the girl I was married to, we did get a divorce, but that was like right after the TV show, which just goes to show like the sacrifices that I had to make for the success. Like, if I didn't do a TV show, me and that girl might still be together, but the stress and the everything that comes with doing a project like that, you know, completely tore our relationship to pieces, you know, which, you know, everything happens for a reason, put me in a much better place where I am today with a much better person on my side. So, you know, my kids are all doing good. They're grown. My oldest daughter, who was just, you know, 13 years old on the TV show, she graduated college, moved out, lives with her, you know, boyfriend. I got another daughter that's graduated college. I got high school. I got one that's about to be a junior in high school. So it's like all of the growth, you know what I'm saying, has been steady. My mama, she's been doing really good. So for the majority, you know, from what most people have seen, the aspect of the TV show, everything's still the same, and everybody's still doing really, really good, minus the girl that I married. So just an update on that, you know what I'm saying, to keep it all the way real.
Okay. Hey, well, I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Not for real. Smo, I got a question for you. Considering you like believe in the hustle and you contribute that hustle to your success, what can you say has allowed you to get involved in different entrepreneurial endeavors? I mean, you mentioned a few different industries. What led you in the direction of those industries, and what allowed you to say, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and manage all these businesses at the same time?
Right. Well, you know, it all comes down to what you're passionate about. You know, like, okay. I would never get involved in a business that I wasn't completely passionate about. You know, so when it comes to my music, of course, I'm extremely passionate about my music. So it's real easy for me to like take that and turn it into a business and use that passion to motivate every move that I make. And then I know it's fueled by some real, like, from the heart shit, not just something that I'm having to like force feed. Like, if I had to go clock in and work for somebody else and I'm like, I don't really like this job, I'm just doing it because I got to. Like, what I do is I just try to make sure that whatever I'm involved in, it's something that I believe in wholeheartedly, something that I'm passionate about, and something that I know that I'm going to like stand by, you know what I'm saying? Not just be like, hey, I got this product, and the next day I'm like, maybe not, you know? It's got to be something that I really believe in, like the barbecue sauce. I'm a I'm a big foodie. You know, I love to cook, and the best thing about cooking is dressing up, you know, things to make it just taste good with seasonings and sauces and stuff. So for me to have my own barbecue sauce, it was a perfect fit, you know, and I had a great recipe, and it had some local success. I had a local restaurant that was buying it and using it as their signature sauce. So, you know, I test the market, you know, test the product. If it looks like it's going to be a, you know, a successful thing and I'm passionate about it, then I move on it. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with, you know, with film, and even, you know, like I had mentioned, being in the cannabis industry. You know, I've been a cannabis advocate since I was a teenager. And, you know, as I've gotten older and I've watched things come into play, like, you know, in my life, like alcoholism and just in general, like the entire nation fighting the opioid crisis. It's like, you know, like I just don't believe in somebody restricting my quality of life by putting some regulation on things. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's okay for somebody to go down here to Walgreens and buy a bottle of opiate, basically heroin pills, then it should be okay for me to grow a plant and use it for the same medicinal purposes. You know what I'm saying? Without the risk of addiction or even death. So, you know, I'm real passionate about the cannabis industry in that aspect, you know what I'm saying? And as a lifestyle, you know, that ties in with, you know, of course, with my life and my music and everything. So it was real easy for me to want to get into that industry because it's been a part of my life since I was very young. And so I went out to California. I met the right people. I learned, you know, I spent a lot of time on a cannabis farm. I learned everything from genetics to harvest. And it was an amazing educational experience when you learn about the botany of an amazing plant like the cannabis plant. It's just, it's such a rewarding gift from the universe. So, you know, it's stuff like that if I can be passionate about it, I'm about to lock in, sink my teeth in, and figure out where I fit in the industry. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the cannabis industry, you know, you take people like, look at Willie Nelson. You know, he's got his own company, you know, Willie's Reserve. It's doing extremely well. Look at Snoop Dogg. You can look at now in the new industry, the brand Cookies, which is, you know, I'm taking and I'm looking at other people's blueprints and I'm like, okay, Burner, who owns Cookies, just like this, that's a $20 million company. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all he is a rapper that believes in weed and, you know, merchandised it well and pushed it. So I was like, well, I can do that, you know, and I went out and I met people and we got the ball rolling on it. So I'm excited to be in the cannabis industry, you know what I'm saying, especially over in the medical and recreational states. And I believe as a nation over the next 2 years, we're going to see it grow in the acceptance across the nation when it comes to recreational and medicinal usage. And, you know, I want to be one of those forefront guys that's in the leading, you know, the line of that says, hey, I have a product. You know, my cannabis company is called American Stoner. It focuses on, you know, the just general American consumer, not the typical hippie or urban vibe that most of the recreational cannabis industries focus on. You know what I'm saying? Mine's more for the working man. So just a different kind of marketing plan and a different kind of promotion plan. And, you know, of course, with me being an artist, I've got the song that pushes the strain, that pushes the tour. So, you know, for April 420, 419 through 425, we're starting the Green Handle tour out in California, which Green Handle is my first strain that I'm releasing under American Stoner. It's my first strain of cannabis. So a lot of stuff going on, man. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like the book, I just finished writing my book. Been working on it for 2 years. This is a tell all from before birth to the date that we finish writing. Like, we're still writing because shit's still popping off every day that's so important to add to the book. It's like, damn, now we got to slide this in the book. You know what I'm saying? So, but while we've been writing the book, we've been writing the screenplay at the same time. So now we have this amazing, screenplay that we're ready to start pushing towards film development.
So, question, since we got into the screenplay side, did you discover your love of film because of your show, or is that something that was with you before the show, and now you're getting to explore it more independently to actually go that route?
I've always been a huge fan of film, and even in my early career, and you'll see this in some of the content that's about to come out. Like, I filmed everything. I was filming my own music videos. I was doing all the editing. So, all of the first stuff that you've seen from me, the Kicking It in Tennessee, the Country Boy Swag, Honky Tonk, and all the old stuff, that's all videos that I shot and edited myself, So I was
Smo.
Yeah.
Smo. I'll concur, because I still got the DVDs that you burned yourself with your signature, with you writing it on the thing. And that was why I want people to really understand, when they see you on TV, I don't know if you sought out that deal or they sought after you, but that you were working, and to hear how you went from the cannabis industry and you went to go do the research first and how you're writing your book. It doesn't sound like Penguin or anything came to you. It's that you're putting these pieces together and doing it, and it's all just working out for you. But you let me know, if Penguin or those big time people and the TV folks came to you, or did you have to work to go towards them? But I'll concur. You were doing your thing.
Yeah, and we did exactly that. We actually shot our own TV pilot and then took it to VH1. VH1 bought it first. See, a lot of people don't know. I shot a pilot with VH1, and then they didn't do it the way I liked it. CMT took a shot at it. They shot a pilot. I didn't like it. And it was because at that time I found out, I'm like, yo, these people aren't telling my story right. They got me looking like, it's like Party Down South or something. It's like, the real world meets backwood redneck. I don't like it. It's putting me in a light that's not my brand. So I told, when A&E came to me and they were like, hey, the buzz is that you got this TV show, that you've kind of done yourself, but you're looking for somebody to do it. We'd like to take a shot at it. And I said, I'll let y'all take a shot at it if you let me be a writer on the show. I have to write these stories. I have to write them. You can't write them because you don't know who I am. And they said, sure, you can be a writer. And so what I did is I wrote the TV show. So I learned how to write. It was so weird. They were like, have you ever written, episodic stuff? And I was like, yeah, I do it all the time. But I had never done it. I was like, hey, well, how hard can it be? So, everything that you saw on the TV show, that was written by me and co-written with my manager at the time. So we wrote that whole show, so that just every experience that I've had has just helped me become better at everything that I do. Of course, I wasn't as good at film until I did 2 years of television. But after you do 2 years of television, that's like doing 2 years of anything. Shit, I'm a professional at it now. As soon as the camera pops out, I know how to find the light. I'm like, no, we need to move over here because we're in the shadow. Okay, we need to do this. We need to get something to block the wind because that's killing the audio. It's just, I know everything to do to make it happen. So I just apply that to everything now moving forward, and I'm back to being independent. It's a beautiful time for me, man. I'm an independent artist. I'm managing myself. We're doing our own booking in-house. I've got my own band, and we travel around and we do our tours. We stay busy pretty much doing 2 and 3 shows a week. And then full time in the studio, cutting new music. I got a project coming out in Cali that's, a whole lot of cannabis music. I got a project that's coming out here in Tennessee. I've got the record label Average Joe Entertainment that's looking to want to work with me on that release. We've got a bunch of singles that we've done. I did a song for Carnival Cruise. We're hoping that they're going to pick it up. I've got a cruise that we're doing in August the 25th through September the 1st, like a 5-day cruise, Big Smo's Kinfolk Cruise. We're going out to Mexico. Like, it's just crazy.
So this is something that there's two things that I want to touch on. One, I love the fact that you say kinfolk, and I feel like that just is something that connects you, not just a fan of your music connects you, but you make them really feel like they're family, like that's your kin right there. And I just want to say that I appreciate that aspect of your personality and of your brand. You're not that standoffish one. So just from someone who has been listening to you for a little bit, I mean, Kellen put me on to you years ago. I met Kellen in like 2009. And so, I appreciate that because I see that you're of the people. Even when you're performing, you're in there with them. You're letting them touch you, rub your head, all types of stuff. And I appreciate that as someone looking and working with people who aren't like that.
Well, that's what people want. People want an experience,
Oh no, something that they can remember and have a memory of and take back and be like, oh man, I was there and I rubbed Big Smo's head, man, it was incredible. But now the other side of it was looking at what you've been able to accomplish, and the fact that you took, it sounds like you took a lot of risk yourself, that a lot of people out there, artists or entrepreneur alike, aren't willing to take in themselves. Can you tell me what it is about you that made you say, I can take this risk and I know it's going to pay off. I'll front the money. I'll do this. I'll do that myself in order to reach that success. What is it about you, your person, that made you feel like, yeah, that's the right move?
I mean, you said it. I'm a risk taker. And then when you mix that with that hustle that I was talking about, like, there's really nothing that I don't believe that any of us aren't capable of doing. Like, once you get the perspective, it's really, let me tell you the secret, my secret to success. And it's not really even success, it's just overall happiness. And if you perceive that you're happy, if you can tell yourself and convince yourself that you're happy, then that means that you're successful, because for me, my success is based off my happiness. Now, I control my perspective in the sense of I tell myself every day when I wake up, there's nothing that I can't do. This entire world belongs to me. People own their little things in between and people rent their little spaces. But when it comes down to it, we're all just humans of the planet. We're free to roam wherever we want to go. So that, like, this world belongs to me. I can do whatever it is that I want to do. Nothing's going to stand in my way. As long as I'm a good person, I do good things, I work hard, and I set my goals, that's based off my passion. And, I make things reasonably accessible. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and say, well, tomorrow I'm just going to go and be an astronaut, basically, because I don't have the time. But I know that tomorrow I will get in my own bus and start driving myself to Michigan, where I'll then do a show, hang out with my fans, and then I'll go to Akron, Ohio, and do a show and hang out with my fans, and then I'll come home and I'll work my ass off for another few days here at the farm, and then go back out and do it again. Because, like, I'm like, I can do all that. It's easy. That's what I love to do. So that's, I set my goals to where they're very attainable. And, I work hard, but I don't overwork myself, because nobody likes to be overworked. That toys with my happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
you got to keep really that balance.
Yeah, it's maintaining a balance, knowing what what your goals are, your reachable goals. And then just, knowing that there's nothing that you can't do. You know what I'm saying? There's a period of my life where I thought that I couldn't do things. And when I changed that perspective, that's when things started working in my favor. So I would just encourage people to get a hold of their perspectives, you know what I'm saying? Because your perspective is what rules your reality. You know what I'm saying? If you wake up and if you look at life like it's shitty, then life's going to be shitty. You know what I'm saying? But if you wake up and you try to see things on the brighter side and you try to do something positive, then things are going to be on the brighter side and be positive. So I believe in your perspective controls your reality, and you should just keep a positive perspective.
Right. So, and I don't know if we're gonna wrap soon or not. Kelly, you got something you want to get at?
No, I want you to get to the questions that the audience had, and Smo, you talking about that bus? You might have to skirt and get on that bus soon. So ask those audience questions, and then we'll go from there, and let the audience tell us when they want us to have them on again.
All right. Well, I have a few questions from the audience, so I will start with Rita Duran. Her handle is @I am Rita Duran, and her question is, what inspired you to push forward when nothing was going right? What kept you motivated?
My family, like my kids, and my dreams. I'm just not the type of person that gives up. So, and I've been rock bottom so many times that it feels like my second address. You know what I'm saying? And the good thing about hitting rock bottom is that that's what really makes you appreciate being able to see the top. So, as long as you've got good people around you to keep you motivated and positive, man, that's really all you need to push through the hard times.
All right. And next question comes from Ben over at BS3 Sports. If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
Man, that's a good question nowadays. I would probably be in film. It would be either film or food, because I love to cook, and that was like my first job when I was a kid. Was an assistant chef at a country club. So I really enjoyed doing that. I was always passionate about cooking food. So yeah, it would either be someone in the film industry or maybe a chef.
Okay. All right. Then we have a question from Isaiah Grant. So it's Isaiah_Grant. What's been the biggest contributor to your success?
I mean, perseverance and hustle, man, it's been everything. You know what I'm saying? Just staying. Just perseverance and hustle and having a good team. You really, you can't do what I do, you can't do by yourself. I didn't get here on my own. I've had a gang of people in my life for a long time that have helped me get to where I'm at, and it continued to still help me get there. So it's really just about keeping good people around you that got your back. They're not a lot of just yes men. You know what I'm saying? You need people to challenge your ideas and your decisions. And it's always good to have a good team around you.
All right. And then the last one comes from @RichleyFenDTU. And it says, when do you think America is going to wake up from the enslavement of the mind?
Oh, let's hope real soon, man. It's such a terrible place that we live in, man. Everybody is just so overoccupied with the simulation of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's got their face in their phones, and their lives are live, and they're all online. It's just like, man, technology it's just screwed us over so bad that we're starting to forget that we're even real human beings.
Wow.
So I think this is a good place to stop our dialogue for this episode and allow you, the listeners, to join the conversation and keep the dialogue going with us online.
You can do so by visiting our social media at Facebook, Diversified Game Podcast, on Instagram and Twitter, Game Diversified, online, diversifiedgame.com. In your life with the people around you, and/or join our Patreon and get some nice perks for being involved.
If you found a nugget and or liked today's episode, you might as well leave a review. And if you leave a review, you might as well share it. If you share it, you might as well subscribe. And as always, thanks for your support.
Thanks for getting in the game and listening to the Diversified Game podcast with Kellen, Tyson, and AL. The #1 show pairing entrepreneurship with diverse and inclusive perspectives like wine and cheese, bagel and lox, fish and grits. Be sure to visit diversifiedgame.com for all the good stuff. Join in the conversation and discover more content.